Hello and welcome to the show. Be it audio capture for film or television, production companies require portable audio solutions that deliver high quality audio in any location.
Manufacturers are always striving to deliver new products that make the role of audio engineers easier while maintaining the production values audiences expect on set. One such company is SHURE, who've recently introduced their new AD3 plug-on wireless transmitter.
And here to explain what the AD3 brings to the table is SHURE Product Manager Stuart Stephens. Welcome to the show, Stuart.
Good afternoon. Good to speak with you guys again.
Yeah, nice to have you back. So, Stuart, tell us, what is the AD3?
So the AD3 is the latest addition to the Axient Digital Portfolio. It's part of the AD series of transmitters. And it really just allows users to take traditional shotgun microphones, any sort of handheld wired microphone, and bring it into that wireless system that we have with Axient Digital.
So we've seen wireless plug-on adapters before. What prompted the development of the AD3 and how did you go about it? What makes it different?
So when we introduced Axient Digital back in 2017 now, it doesn't feel like it was 3 years ago, but it was always part of the discussion that we wanted to kind of push more into the world of TV and film broadcasting. And part of that was we had strong heritage in the world of touring, so people were familiar with us. So when we developed Axient Digital, we introduced some new features such as DC powered receivers. And those sorts of additions have allowed us to get into the world of like TV film carts that are traditionally powered from a DC supply. So around the same time, because we knew that we had this goal of pushing into those areas, the AD3 was part of those discussions. And in the same way as we do with all the development projects at SHURE, what we wanted to do is we came up with initial mechanical designs to just take it out to kind of key contacts in the industry and just validate that we were on the right track from a mechanical design point of view. There were some minor tweaks and changes along the way, and then we go out and visit the same or a wider group of people for the beta testing portion, where we can validate things like the user interface, how people interact with the transmitter itself, does it operate exactly as they expect. Through kind of probably 18 months to 2 years of validation, we eventually ironed out the kind of minor quirks and got it to a point where it was ready to launch and hopefully be adopted by those same users we tested with.
So throughout that validation process, then, Stuart, what were the key and maybe unique features that users can expect from the AD3?
So when it comes to designing a plug-on, there's not much kind of experimentation you can do in terms of the actual mechanical design. Everybody generally expects it to look somewhat like this, a plug-on style form factor. Yeah. So what we did do is we introduced some new mechanical design things. So like where the XLR actually connects, we have this, I'll try and get it a bit closer to the camera, it's a locking mechanism. So as you secure the microphone to the plug-on transmitter, you can simply rotate this locking collar, and that ensures that you have a nice secure fit with your microphone. Because the last thing you want if you're using shotgun microphones that are maybe in excess of £1,000 is any sort of play that might prematurely wear out the XLR connectors on those microphones. A few other things as part of the AD series, we wanted to make sure that this was compatible with both AA batteries as well as our own lithium ions. So we have a range of lithium ion batteries called the SB900 that give you things like battery life reporting in hours and minutes. You can see battery health. And that allowed us to do things like if you're using this on a set, if you're using it with lithium ions, you can trust that the battery life that is shown on both the transmitter and receiver will be accurate to within 15 minutes. So you have a lot more confidence in how long that transmitter is going to last throughout set and whether you need to swap it out. the transmitters itself also have a USB-C connection on the base. So if you were doing something like a spot mic or a podium where you wanted it to have continuous power for a long shoot, maybe an entire day's worth, you can simply either attach a USB power bank that would give you that additional boost to the battery, or if you had a mains inlet, you could use a simple USB-C charger to provide permanent power to this transmitter, and it could run for days at a time as like a hidden spot mic under a desk or something like that. And then there's some features that people expect from plug-ons. So we have phantom power in here at 12 and 48 volts for your condenser microphone applications. There's a high pass filter in there that starts at 40 hertz, and you can increase that in 20 hertz increments up to 240. So any sort of environmental noise that you want to reduce from your audio prior as it's being captured, that you can notch all that out with the high pass filter. And then there's just some features that are common to all of the Axient Digital transmitters. So we have tone generators in there to verify your RF links. There's input pads, a lot of kind of additional features for that.
So a lot of this came from, it's applying a lot of your experience of touring, and you mentioned some of those features there, very broadcasty. But who really have you targeted? Who's going to benefit from the AD3?
As I mentioned, a big goal for us as a company at the moment is to kind of make inroads into the world of TV and film broadcasting. So we hope that having products like this will encourage more adoption of the Axient Digital platform. We've already had some success with the standard AD and ADX range of transmitters in the world of broadcast, and we're hoping that this is just another addition that gives users that flexibility to kind of have a handheld or a body pack in traditional applications, and then for those times where you need to take a wired microphone and also transmit it wirelessly, like a shotgun or perhaps sports applications, the side of pitch pickup, the AD3 gives you that flexibility. And then also just your traditional boom operators. So historically, with our previous UHFR system, we had a plug-on for boom operators, and now this just brings that into the Axient Digital platform and gives them the flexibility for both a boom application as well as miking up the cast themselves.
Just going back, Stuart, to the power consumption, just out of interest, on a standard lithium charge, what sort of runtime could users expect on it?
If you are not running phantom power, you will get up to 8 hours with our SB900 lithium ions. As soon as you add 48 volts phantom power, that takes off around about an hour and a half. So you'll drop down to about 6.5 hours runtime. And then, as I mentioned, if you need any more than that, that USB-C connection gives you the ability to secure a USB power bank to the boom or something like, or somewhere just to give you that extra few hours. But yeah, 6.5 hours with 48 volts phantom is the expectation.
Will it charge via the USB-C port as well? So if you're using your batteries in obviously your rechargeables, you can recharge through the USB-C?
Yeah, that's correct. So you can either use it in between takes, just plug it in and it will keep that battery topped up and charging. Or if you are using one of those power banks, you will get there's an indication on the transmitter itself that says the EXT to signify external power source. And it will just draw power from the USB power bank to keep the battery topped up. Obviously, once that power bank dies and there's no charge left in it, it will start depleting the internal lithium ion as well.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
But there should be enough charge and options there to account for, I'd say, 95 to 99% of the scenarios it's going to be in.
Cool. Yeah. And in terms of price and availability, Stuart?
So it's available now. We started shipping these in August. Price off the top of my head, in the US, we are $999. Euros is 900 and pounds is 810 pounds, excluding VAT.
That's great. So Stuart, just before we let you go, since we're an industry about people and relationships, we've been asking our guests to tell us something about themselves that we, or maybe even your colleagues at SHURE, don't already know about you. So
Yeah, something that's non-controversial that not everybody knows about me is I was actually born in the Middle East in the 80s and spent most of my childhood there. And then another little bit of information is in my teenage years, I used to race competitive motocross. Touch wood, I was never injured doing that.
Brilliant. Motocross, very dangerous. Thanks for watching today, and thanks to Stuart from SHURE for coming onto the show. To see all our video interviews and kit reviews, then head over to the KitPlus TV website, which is brought to you with the support of Mediaproxy, and you can find out more about them at mediaproxy.com. Thank you.